Muster together, my seafaring friends, as we set sail with an Aussie and a Yank.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Hello world, and I've been wanting to say that for a long time. If you're an Australian, you know exactly who I'm talking about, the great John Laws. But anyway, I've always wanted to say that. And hello, Nancy. How are you today, sweetheart?
Well, I'm a little bit laid up in case you can't tell, but
well, we do have a couple of really special people on our show today, don't we, Nance?
We sure do.
Yeah. Do you want to be the one to introduce your lovely special guest?
Sure. This is the mini Yank. This
I'm
is
the mini Yank.
my daughter Jessica.
Yay! Hello, Jessica. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, thank you. Welcome to our show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Bringing a different perspective to our cruise and travel guru show. And Aussie and a Yank.
AussieAndaYank and mini Yank.
And mini Yank, yes. Guest star is Anastasia from Below Deck Mediterranean.
Hello.
Yay! Tell us what you're doing these days with yourself, and how has COVID affected you and the ability to get work? Because I'm sure you wouldn't be on a yacht.
Well, here's the thing, actually, funny enough, the yachting industry is actually doing just fine, whether there's a pandemic or not. I mean, if anything, it's safer for them to be on their boats away from land than to be, in their communities. So I actually have had no problem finding work. I've had a lot of work offered to me, and I've just turned it down. I've kind of taken the pandemic as a way to step back from my crazy travel life and just slow down a little bit. It's been really nice. I've been home. I've been able to, this is the first time I've been home for the holidays in years. First turning to somebody else, I've just been able to be here with my family, which has been really special. We actually just got a big snow this morning in Vermont. So it's just nice to see snow and be with my family. But yeah, I've had plenty of freelance chef gigs that I just do on my terms. I'm not really in a place in my life right now where I want to sign a contract and, break my back for the next however many seasons. I just kind of want to slow down a little bit. And it's really good for me to do it this way, because then I get really excited when I do get back on a yacht and I am cooking eggs and I don't get as burnt out.
So you've got a typical white Christmas going on, and do you have Bing Crosby singing in the background on Christmas Day?
I'm a big Mariah Carey kind of girl, Michael Bublé, a little bit of Justin Bieber. So that's kind of the vibe there.
She heard
Sweetheart,
and she lost it.
Sweetheart, Bublé is my thing.
Oh my God, Bublé, I have loved him since middle school, which is weird because Bublé, but my mom and I absolutely adore him.
Have you seen any of his shows?
Just on YouTube. I haven't been live.
I've been to 3 of his concerts, and the last one in Australia this year. Oh. He took my phone and we have a photo. Oh, how awesome is that?
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I know, it is pretty cool.
He's such a hottie.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's just so hilarious. He's just, a really cool entertainer, and I really love his shows. He's really cool in that respect.
Well, hopefully when I start up again, I can go see him. Maybe we can go to a show together. It'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. You were on Below Deck for season 4. How did you feel like you were conveyed on, TV? Have you watched any of the episodes, and do you think that they did justice to you? Did Bravo kind of do a pretty good editing job for you?
Here's the thing. I know or blame editing for how they were portrayed, but at the end of the day, what makes Below Deck such a great show is that it's unscripted. Nobody's telling you what to do. Nobody's telling you what to say. So, if you were an asshole, that was just you being an asshole. So, I had my moments where I, was snappy, I was bitchy, whatever it is. But I'm in a high stress situation. It is what it is. I acted the way that I acted. I saw it played back. There was moments I was like, you go, girl. And there was moments I was like, oh my God, please stop talking.
So you did actually
But
watch the
it's
show.
just who you are, and you're just trying to justify all your actions. Yeah, I mean, like, you just kind of got to go with it. It's a show, like, you are chosen for a reason because you're a bit of a whack job. Like, that's the whole point. So, I mean, I don't know. I honestly, like, at first it was hard to deal with because I could, like, even barely listen to my own, voicemail without being like, oh God. But you just get used to it, and you just got to be able to laugh at yourself, because if you don't, then you're taking yourself way too seriously. So, I mean, I did what I did. Some people loved it, some people hated it.
It is what it is, right?
Whatever. It's who I am, and my friends know who I am, and that's
Did
all
you
that
walk
matters.
away with a good relationship with everyone when it was all said and done?
Yeah, absolutely. Except for, Travis and I were a little bit rocky just because we had a little bit of tension, but we got over that. I mean, I talk to everybody pretty much. And I mean, obviously Hannah and I talk every single day. And, I keep up with Aisha and even Jack and everybody. So it's Colin, and yeah, we're all still friends, which is really cool. I feel like our crew really gelled well together. It's really, like, a really fun time. So it's sad to watch some of these other seasons where there's so much, like, hatred and animosity between the crew, and it's just like, man, that's not fun.
No.
That sucks for you guys. But
it's hard work for you guys.
yeah, 17, 18-hour days. And it's hard to remember that when you're watching as a viewer. Like, you might not realize the timestamps, but, like, I got up at 6:30 and I went to bed at 1:30, 2:30. And even when I did go to bed, I'm still wired from the day. And I'm just thinking about, okay, when I wake up, I got to prep this, I got to do that, better. So, like, your sleep is not good. You're not getting, like, a great night's rest, and you just have a lot of stress with the job, and you have to be a very, very tough person to be able to deal with the guests, deal with all these things that go wrong, because, cameras there or not, things are going to go wrong all the time. Boats break all the time. That's their thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just yachting, and you got to be able to handle it. And if you can't, then you're going to get chewed up and spit out.
Stacey, you mentioned speaking with Hannah daily. Why don't you fill us in as to what you guys are talking about and what you're up to?
Imagine traveling the world on a luxury yacht, visiting exotic locations, and earning a paycheck. If you are considering a career in the yachting industry, or are just ready to escape the 9-to-5 grind, our Ocean International Training Academy can help you start on the path to an unforgettable profession.
Yes, so because of this pandemic, and she had approached me, I think maybe back in August or July, and was just like, hey babe, can I call you? Like, I have an idea. I was like, okay, what is she talking about? Because she's always scheming. She's always got ideas. So she calls me up and she tells me, this idea for an online yachting school. And she's like, I have this idea, I can back it up. I have, the experience, but I need somebody who's going to help me execute. And that's you. She's like, my little psycho type. I was like, you came to the right lady. So we went on this journey to start Ocean International Training Academy, which is an online-based training platform for people who are interested in joining the yachting industry. So what we focus on is interior and exterior, specifically stewardessing and deckhand. So, there's a couple tiers to the course. The bronze is just an introductory, getting your feet wet, figuring out what is yachting. And then you can once you upgrade and get more specific and learn the ins and outs of how to be the best stewardess or the best deckhand. So it's a pretty intensive course. And it just it really propels you forward in the yachting industry as a green crew or a newbie, because a lot of green crew, they have no idea what's going on. They step foot on a boat, they don't understand port, starboard, they don't understand silver service versus, Russian service. It's my mom's phone. And they don't know all of these little things where leg up in the industry. And when you go and do your interviews and you're asking all those good questions, your chief stew or your bosun's going to be like, whoa, this greenie really knows their stuff. They took the initiative to learn before coming here. And that's really what we want to do. We want to propel our students as being like the top picks for, when crew is hiring. And also we offer a lot of support. So we have our private Facebook group. Our students have direct access to Hannah and I. We do live Zoom calls every month with our students to, make sure they're keeping up and keep them on track. And if they need anything, they have access to all of our contacts. So that's what we've created, is this community and really sharing our experience and knowledge with all of our students. So when your
students finish your course, are they considered accredited or licensed or whatever has to go on in maritime?
So in order to legally work on a boat, you have to have your minimum. You have to have your STCW 95, which is like a basic safety course. And then you have to have your ENG1, which is a medical form signed by a maritime accredited doctor saying you're fit for sea. They have to be done in person at a maritime accredited center. So you don't get that with our course. However, we have a very good relationship with Blue Water Yachting. So we refer a lot of our students to their facility, and our students are very well taken care of there. They get their, certificates, and then they can legally work on a boat. So right now our courses are purely online based. Hopefully in the future, we are trying to get, in-person trainings, and then they get their certifications done as well. But right now we can't really do that with COVID and everything going on. So we're just sticking with the online course.
So this is kind of why I'm here, because I am a 20-something-year-old woman who has gone and gotten her master's degree in theater and is hopefully going to do something with that. But I watch your guys' show. I watch it religiously with my mom all the time. And every time I'm like, God, I feel like I could do this. I know those knots because in theater we use the same knots as, sailing. I can learn how to do this. I feel like I would be very good about this. So what are you looking for in students necessarily? What kind of drive are you looking for?
Any drive at all. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have hospitality experience. I mean, that helps. It doesn't matter what walk of life you are coming from or who you are. If you have a very hard work ethic and a drive to succeed, that's what we're looking for. We are looking for people who are open to knowledge and learning and take it seriously. Because if you're just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I guess the industry is, it's cutthroat. You have to be hungry. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people who have that fire under their butt to be like, I want to do this and I'm gonna do this. I mean, you see how we are, on our season, we were no nonsense. We had fun and stuff, but when it came to our work, we got our shit done. I mean, besides maybe Jack, but we're all very, very regimented people, and we don't complain. That's the thing too. You have to be able to be 8 days or however many days, and I'm going to keep that smile on my face. Maybe that's where the theater will come in. You're probably good at acting. So you can be like,
I am backstage. I'm a backstage person. I build scenery for a living.
Well, then you're good at admin and things like that. So you'd be good at maybe putting things together and making sure things are running smoothly. And that's a really important part of the job as well. So you really have to be a well-rounded person who can keep a smile on their face, keep your personal stuff in your bunk, get out there, do your job, don't complain. And if something does go wrong, you have to have the ability to, even if it wasn't your fault, just be like, yep, okay, I'm sorry, I won't let that happen
I know
again.
I can do that personally. I have to do that all the time.
I mean, how many times did Hannah or Captain Standard or someone said something to me that I didn't do, or it actually wasn't my fault, and I would have to be like, okay, yep, I'm so sorry. That won't happen again.
My other question, because I was thinking about it, and I'm heading up there in my 20s. And my question, is there an age limit to yachting in general?
Absolutely not. I would say, it would even maybe help you a bit to be a bit older, because, you obviously are a very determined, hardworking person. You have a master's. That all those things show that you are somebody who knows how to fall in line, take direction, and you work hard. So it doesn't deter, someone who's looking to hire. What they're looking for is like, you want to work hard, and that you've done the necessary things to make sure you are the best candidate. So it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, Hannah has friends. I've known people who have started yachting in their 40s, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm 28, I'm still in the yachting industry. Like, I know so many of my friends are much older than me, in their 30s and their 40s, and they're in the yachting industry and they're doing well. I mean, I started when I was 22, 23. And I mean, even that, I was like, oh my God, am I too late? But not at all. Like, it all is in your mind. Like, your mindset determines how successful you're going to be. Doesn't matter your age. But you have to be at least 16.
I'm definitely at least 16.
Yeah.
So this is definitely an online education that everybody's getting, and that's where it's going right
Correct.
now. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, students are, we do have students who are, moving down to Florida, and they're getting their, certifications done, and they're getting on boats. Like, it's happening. People are literally changing the course of their life, even in this pandemic, which is just, we couldn't be more proud and thankful for our students.
Is there a big yachting community in California?
I wouldn't say as big as in Florida, but there is definitely a yachting community out there. There's a lot of sailing, a lot of adventure sailing that takes place out of California, which is pretty cool. So you could definitely work in the yachting industry in Cali. However, Florida is kind of the epicenter for yachting in the US.
Okay. So what's your favorite travel destination? Let's just take, the world of work away. So tell us about your favorite destination and how you get there, whether it's boat, flying, resort. Where in the world do you like to be?
Okay, so I would say my ideal, there's a lot of places that I love. So, I love Southeast Asia. I love India. Those places, I wouldn't really say I would do any sort of like boat thing. But if I was to go somewhere for like ultimate relaxation, I would fly into the Med, either Italy or Croatia or Greece. I would fly in, and then I would get on a yacht, and I would sail to all of the beautiful smaller islands, because mainland Med, like Italy, Croatia and Greece, and in France, it's beautiful. But the islands in the Med are where it's at. And the best way to travel is by sailboat or catamaran, or if you can afford it, a super yacht. That'd be pretty nice. But that's just my favorite way to travel, because I just love being on the water. So for me, that's really nice. And then you get to go wherever you want. You get to visit a little island every day or every other day, or maybe, you spend a week somewhere in Hydra, and then you go off and you sail to Poros, and then maybe you want to sail to Hvar or whatever it is. I just love the freedom that being on a boat gives you. And although the islands in the Med are a little bit farther apart, you do get really nice cruises, just sailing from one island to another. So that would be like my ideal favorite place. I've done it. So it's just like, oh, I want to go back.
I have to ask, did you get seasick at all?
I've only actually ever been seasick once, and it's when I did a yacht delivery from England to Sweden. We were crossing the North Sea, and we got a pretty bad storm, and we all ate this like Alfredo sauce pizza the night before, and we all got sick, like seasoned sailors. We were all throwing up so much. It was so disgusting. But the seas were just super rough, and the swell was really high. So and we were in a 39-foot sailboat, so we were totally screwed. It was so bad. I'll never do that again.
Yeah, you never go back to a small ship ever again.
No, I'm like, I'm luxury cruising or nothing. Like, I am not doing that stuff again. No way.
I agree. Okay, so as a chef, what's your favorite dish to cook? And then after that, what's the best mouthful of food you've ever had from a restaurant, and where was it?
Okay, so that first question is like every chef's like, ugh. I don't know. I don't have like a favorite thing to cook. I think for me, the way that I like to cook is when I get a preference sheet, combine that with what I have around me, depending on what country I'm in. That really depends on how I get inspired and what I want to make. So my favorite thing to make is when I'm just inspired by the things around me. Like, there's no specific dish or anything that I like to cook. I am very much like off the cuff kind of chef. Like, I see something, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Like, if I have this idea of what I want to make in the morning, it might completely change by the time I get to the evening. And you also have to remember, things go bad, things fall over. You don't know. You have to be so quick on your feet and really creative in the yachting industry, because as you see on the show, things go off and go bad all the time. So you got to be really creative. And that's kind of my favorite part about it, is I have, the range to just be as creative as I want. And that's my favorite, is when I come up with a dish, I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know this was going to be this when I started cooking. So that's kind of like my favorite way to cook it. So I don't really have like a specific dish, but I just like being inspired by what's around me.
Cool.
And the best bite I can remember as of right now is I was in Portofino with Jack, actually. And we went to an Italian restaurant, and I still dream of this pasta. It was just a spaghetti and tomato sauce, and it was the best spaghetti and tomato sauce I have ever had in my entire life. I have no idea what they put in it, but I mean, obviously the pasta was fresh, the sauce was fresh, the flavors, my mouth is literally watering right now thinking about it. It was so unbelievably good, and I still think about that dish. I'm like, and like, I've been in the city, quite often the last few months, and I've been going to all these different Italian restaurants thinking, I'm like, maybe I'll find something that was as good as that pasta, and I have not found it yet. I mean, it was just incredible. I still think about it.
Time to go back.
I know, I need to go. Well, unfortunately, I'm not allowed in Italy, so.
You aren't allowed in Italy? My goodness.
I'm American. I can't go to Europe right now.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But I thought you meant like.
I thought you were saying you're banned.
Well, I mean, I robbed those 3 banks, so they probably won't let me back.
What's a little money between friends?
I might have murdered a few people.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
We appreciate the time that you've taken with us. This has been fabulous.
Of course.
And I hope that
yes, it has.
When I eventually get back home to Australia, that I can catch up with Hannah and we can catch up with you all over again. And Jess, by then, hopefully you'll have some idea where you're traveling in this world. And Nance, you'll be far better and back on your feet again, and we can be having our Aussie and a Yank show that we walk on a ship together, hey?
Yes. Thank you so much, ladies. It was so nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too. Bye, honey. Thanks for joining us today, Jess. I hope you had a wonderful time. It was awesome to chat with Anastasia. Thank you so much, and I hope you can join us again.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Jessica.
Bye, guys.
And
bye.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to Aussie and a Yank. Walk onto a ship.
Yay!
Yay!
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.